You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth.
What do all men of power want? More power.
My name is luca-zanna. I was an Italian by birth, and I became an American by choice. Our lives and freedoms are in danger. This is not a drill. If you're listening to this broadcasting, you are the resistance.
All systems go.
Welcome to Love, Guns, and Freedom.
We're not afraid. Now we can see a new world coming into view. A world in which there is the very real prospect of a new world order. In the words of Winston Churchill, a world order in which the principles of justice and fair play protect the weak against the strong. A world where the United Nations, freed from Cold War stalemate, is poised to fulfill the historic vision of its founders. A world in which freedom and respect for human rights find a home among all nations. The Gulf War put this new world to its first test. And my fellow Americans, we passed that test.
For 3 generations, the Bush family has pledged a secret oath to a mysterious order known as the Skull and Bones. It's one of the most exclusive and notorious secret societies in the world, recruiting the elite of the elite from among the junior ranks of Yale University. Skull and Bones is a satanic death cult for bloodline families, formerly known as the Brotherhood of Death, and it certainly lives up to its namesake. Every year when new members are initiated, screams and chanting are heard echoing from the society's secured compound called the Tomb.
He was part of a team that successfully recorded part of the initiation ceremony that takes place in the Tomb's courtyard. And what did you hear? What was it you managed to get this unique
it was disgusting. It was gross. I mean, they were pretending to murder people.
What was the tone of it, though? Was it jokey? Or was it quite...
No, it wasn't jokey at all. It was sick. It's about the only way I can describe it. It was sick.
What you're hearing is the first recording ever made of the Skull and Bones initiation ceremony. It has never been broadcast before. 15 new members of the club are being introduced into the macabre rituals of Skull and Bones by the senior students who are about to graduate. The club has what some might see as a strange fascination with death, skulls and bones. There's the chants too, difficult to hear first of all, but including the devil equals death and death equals death.
During the initiation, ritual members are forced to kiss the skull of Geronimo. Then drink what they claim to be fake blood from a skull.
The daring student was surprised by what he saw inside the fountain.
There was actually some sort of red residue in the fountain, which I imagined to be blood. But I have a feeling they do some strange rituals with the fountain. These 2 skeletons look like they're hushing people in some way.
During their initiation, candidates must recount all their sexual exploits. Finally, they are expected to perform various oaths, kiss some feet, and drink blood. They then have to lie naked in a coffin. And, after masturbating in full view of the others, swear to never reveal their membership of the order.
The Skull and Bones initiation process featured prominently in the 2006 movie The Good Shepherd, starring Matt Damon.
Skull and Bones, accept or reject.
In 2001, 2 German Holocaust survivors sued the US government and then President George Bush's family for $40 billion in compensation. They claimed that the Bush political dynasty had financially benefited from Auschwitz slave labor during World War II, and that it was this money that had established their family fortune and political empire. The Holocaust survivors were prompted to raise the case by evidence in declassified files found in the U.S. National Archives. They revealed that late Senator Prescott Bush, father to the 41st President George H.W. Bush and grandfather of the 43rd President George W. Bush, was involved with the men who funded the Nazi Party into government, raising the problematic question, did the Bush family help get Hitler into power? With senators, governors and 2 US presidents emerging from this single family in just 3 generations, the Bush family are widely considered to be the most successful political dynasty in American history. It was founded by Prescott Bush, whose career took off after marrying Dorothy Walker in 1921. Her father made Bush a managing director and shareholder of the newly formed Union Banking Corporation, also known as UBC. UBC was set up to provide a U.S. financial base for Germany's most powerful industrial family, the Tysons. The Tyson family owned the largest steel and coal company in Germany. The Tyson business empire was inherited by Fritz Tyson, who donated heavily to the Nazi Party, became a member in 1931, and even bought the Nazi headquarters, Barlow Palace, for Hitler. His support allowed the Nazis to consolidate power and step straight into government. Fritz Tyson was also Prescott Bush's boss. By the late 1930s, Bush's bank UBC had bought and shipped millions of dollars of gold, fuel, steel, coal and US Treasury bonds to Germany, directly financing Hitler and his build-up to war. As Tyson's Steel Corporation grew rich by Hitler's efforts to re-equip Germany's army, Prescott Bush took on more responsibility and became a director and shareholder for a number of Tyson's shell companies. The most notorious of Tyson's companies managed by UBC was the Consolidated Silesian Steel Company, otherwise known as CSSC. CSSC was located on the German-Polish border and used Nazi slave labor from Auschwitz. Documents from the US National Archives show that UBC's involvement with CSSC was not limited to holding shares for the company, and it is likely that the American directors, including Prescott Bush, may have also financially invested in the corporation. A New York Times article published at the time revealed that anonymous American interests held 1/3 of CSSC. The German businessman who owned the other 2/3 of CSSC also owned part of the chemical company that developed and knowingly sold the poison that gassed millions to death during the Holocaust. American investments in Nazi Germany were curtailed during World War II. With the attack on Pearl Harbor, America entered the war, making it illegal for companies to engage in profitable business transactions with the Axis powers. Despite this, UBC continued to secretly trade, but their continuous gold purchases raised suspicions that the bank was in fact just a nest egg for Nazi investors. In 1942, the alien property custodian seized UBC assets, as well as the Silesian American Company, another one of Prescott Bush's ventures. A report issued by the Office of Alien Property Custodian concluded that the seized properties were operated by the German government and undoubtedly of considerable assistance to its war effort. It is still disputed whether or not Prescott Bush ever did more than own these companies on paper. Nevertheless, neither Bush nor his colleagues were ever prosecuted for their role in Hitler's rise to power, Germany's rearming, or their exploitation of Holocaust victims. In 1938, Fritz Tyson himself ended his financial support for Hitler and fled to Switzerland, but he was found and arrested in 1941, ironically spending the remainder of the war in a concentration camp. It is reported, but not verified, that when Tyson died a few years after the war, his US assets were liquidated, allowing Bush to cash in his share of UBC, worth $1.5 million. Whilst the exact details of Prescott Bush's involvement with Nazi Germany have been lost to history, in 2003 the Anti-Defamation League stated that rumours about the alleged Nazi ties of the late Prescott Bush are untenable and politically motivated. Prescott Bush was neither a Nazi nor a Nazi sympathizer. Meanwhile, former US Attorney John Loftus emphasizes that Prescott Bush was just involved in the same thing as many other American and British businessmen at the time. The 2001 legal case against the Bush family was dismissed on the grounds that a government cannot be held liable. Nevertheless, the question of the Bush family's role during World War II persists. On Christmas Day 2014, former Governor of Florida Jeb Bush, brother of George W. Bush, announced his intention to run for the 2016 Republican Party presidential nomination. As the Bush family continues to dominate U.S. politics, the impact of American Nazi trading is still worth questioning today.
Here we go, guys and girls. Another Sunday, another show. You're listening to Love, Guns and Freedom with luca-zanna on K-Talks 1340 AM and also 104.1 FM. Okay, today what I would like to talk, probably you already heard the first part of this segment. It's, I don't like to talk about dead people that they cannot defend themselves because, normally when they're gone, they're gone. And for me, I don't have any hate against anybody. But I like to be using this show as an instrument to at least understand what we are facing, and more important, how much sometimes we are conditioned by society in a hypocritical way to think that when somebody is dead or when somebody is old, they must be nice, they must be saints. And the problem is why we need to face it, why we need to still address, even when people are dead, when I believe, according to facts, this is not just about personal beliefs, according to facts and evidence, that these people have been committing crimes, and not just, little crimes. I'm talking about war crimes. I'm talking about mass genocides. I'm talking about things that they really have somehow changed and shaped the world, even for the worst, unfortunately. We need to talk. Otherwise, we will think that it's okay to pretty much continue on this path. So that's why I want to talk a little bit about George Bush. I have no problems with really anybody individually. But when it comes down that you have a personal belief that want to shape and change the world according to your convictions, that as we said, we were talking about here the New World Order, global government. That is not just something that is going to influence your life, but can change the life of every one of us. I have a problem, especially when I don't agree with you. So, first of all, let's talk about George Bush, the president, the father of George W.H. Bush, as a man that is not just a regular president. President may be, you may think that they have something to do with their policies or their political beliefs. In my humble opinion, they are all pretty much following the same agenda of at least the last 50 years. They're following the plans of the globalists. But George Bush was, for sure, according to his words, a man who believed in global government. And why I think if you believe in America, if you believe in the Republic, you should have a problem with that. Because this is exactly against the principles of what we, as Americans, especially Americans who believe in the Republic and took an oath to defend this Republic, that we're supposed to live under. If you believe in a global government, you believe that America doesn't exist anymore. Because global government means that all nation states, they will be absorbed, they will be completely dissolved into this global government. And that's exactly the final goal, a global central government, where there is no more national sovereignty. So that's why, I'm sorry, you cannot believe in supporting the global government or New World Order, and at the same time to think you believe in America and patriotism. That's the point. That's the point. For some of you, may not be a big deal. For me, I took an oath to defend this republic, like many other people out there who served as military. When you take an oath to defend this republic and you swear the oath on the Constitution to defend this Constitution, you cannot at all be subservient and, let's say, propose and support a New World Order. So that's why the first thing I would like to talk about, Mr. Bush, President Bush, wherever you are right now, more important to people who follow him and still support him. And even President Trump, that he has such great words about him. I understand, you need to do your political diplomacy stuff, but let's be honest. If you are a friend, a supporter of the New World Order, you are an enemy of America. Simple as that. So that's the first thing I would like to address. Number two, I don't want to be responsible for the actions of somebody else. I believe that, like you're supposed not to be responsible of the actions of your father or grandfather. After all, that's not the right way to be free. There is not some sort of retroactive sense of guilt. Like, I don't believe that because I'm white, I'm supposed to be guilty because some whites out there, maybe 200 years ago, they were doing slavery. Okay? That's not the point. But there is a point, though. The Bush family is proven, starting from the grandfather, and the father too, and indirectly also the son, to completely have had a great part in getting the wealth through supporting enemies and in wars and supporting the wars. I mean, the fact that we have Prescott Bush involved with the Nazis, that's a fact. You can see all the declassified documents. I just brought up this little sort of audio file. But the point is, you can do the research. It's been proven many times. The point is, not everybody, of course, will have the same type of justice or face justice. Doesn't matter if it's Republican or Democrats. Look, the special elite, they can get away. Things that if you were doing a regular person, what Prescott Bush did during World War II, you would have been already probably shot under treason. So that's the point. So, but it doesn't stop with the grandfather. We talk now also look at Mr. President Bush and his son, George W.H. Bush, how much they also profit with the armament and weapons. There are different corporations out there that they've been completely doing research. I don't want to spend too much time on that. Financing and, more important, arming conflicts. That's the point. So there is so much more. But for me, the most important thing is, I don't care their personal belief. They can believe in whatever they want. Yes, they go to these sort of rituals that they're not exactly something, so, I don't know, innocent. Like, you're part of a secret organization like Skull and Bones. We should talk about it, at least when you are somebody that is serving as a public servant. If you're just a private person that you mind your business, you can believe in whatever you want. You can believe in whatever you want, until, of course, you infringe somebody else's rights. But when you are a person who has the control of the most, sophisticated defense system and also attack system of the nation, I mean, we're talking about you have the control of the little bottom, that you can push the button, you can start World War III. And at that point, you are a person who believes in different type of rituals that can be also very compromising, because the point of this secret society, they have the control with blackmail or everything you've done in the past. Now, there is a part also about, former President Bush, late President Bush, that a lot of pedophiles and different people who have been under, the ring, let's say, exposed in the ring of child abuse and sex abuse. Unfortunately, there is not enough for me, I wish there was a trial. I wish there was more to bring up. There are a lot of voices, a lot of witnesses, a lot of people have been talking loud, writing books, do the research. Nobody got sued, but I would love that it would have at least a chance to have the day in court. Anyway, my point is we need to focus on the things that now we can touch. A man that, first of all, was part of a secret society that we cannot underestimate. Because the secret society, Skull and Bones, it is not something just for, a bunch of kids, rich kids that they want to have fun. Unfortunately, this group is being controlling the future and also the most important steps of our modern history, especially in America, but also worldwide. Now we know also that the New World Order doesn't end. You can see the New World Order, George W. Bush, and Bush father and Obama, they're all in bed together. They're all following the orders of the same masters. That's a fact. So my goal all is this one. Please, stop thinking about Republicans and Democrats. Please stop thinking about, he's an old man, he deserves our respect. Start to look at facts the way they are. There are people out there, if they're even people, who really have an agenda, who have a plan, and yes, they're following a conspiracy. And the goal is a long-term goal, but I really believe we are getting to a point now that we are at the last stages before the implementation of this global government. By the way, I want to be sure you understand, global government, it is not something that you need to think in an idealistic way, it's going to be all beautiful, and we're all going to be in peace. Global government means that there is a global control. It means that somehow all your individual rights, they're going to be, and also sovereignty of each state, they were going to be gone. And that Hitler wanted some sort of a global government. The Third Reich, that was his global government. What happened now in Europe, that was Hitler's dream. A global centralized government under the control, not of course of people that don't even elect it. The point is now we have an elected group of people that they control governments. That's the essence of global government. So be sure about that. Now, let's have a little bit of a song, New World Order. Then I want to talk a little bit about some news, but also something very interesting that happened the last Sunday on my YouTube channel. I want to talk about that after this. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with luca-zanna. Do not go away. This is a New World Order, music and lyrics by myself. Thank you.
New World Order, new disorder. They want to take control of the soul. New World Order, no more borders. Global control. You're free to do what they say. If you try to get away, you die or obey. No place to escape, nowhere to run. They own our sons, control our thoughts, control our tongue. They print our cash, they make the crash. They tax our work, they suck our blood. New World Order, new disorder. They wanna take control of the soul. New World Order, no more borders. Global control is their goal. We better wake up before it's too late, or we'll be their slaves with a chip in our brains. If you speak up, you're called insane, but together we'll go nowhere. We'll expose their sins, we'll give them pain. Now it's time to fight. New World Order, new disorder. They wanna take control of the soul. New World Order, no more borders. Global control, global control, global control is their goal. Second American Revolution. The future of freedom depends on you. Go to Infowars.com. Go to freedomtofascism.com. Victory or death.
He's a songwriter, a poet, a rifleman.
I'm not afraid.
And a constitutional activist.
I'm not afraid.
Italian by birth.
I'm not afraid.
American by choice. Gianluca Zanna.
I'm not afraid.
And his new CD, Love, Guns, and Freedom. 16 powerful songs on one CD from the heart of a patriot. For download or to order the CD, go to www.lovegunsfreedom.com. That's www.lovegunsfreedom.com. Lyrics for your mind, music for your heart. Gianluca Zanna's new CD, Love, Guns, and Freedom.
Here we go, back into the studio. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with luca-zanna. And by the way, I would like to let you know I'm broadcasting here from Kingman Force on Force, our new location. We are located in 3001 North Stockton Hill Road, Kingman, Arizona. And you can go to www.kingmanforceonforce.com. Now, what I was talking about, last Sunday I have something very interesting. After the show was uploaded on YouTube, I started to receive these messages that, by the way, they've been removed. I don't know why, but somehow some of them removed them. A super attack on my persona, my show, and I don't know, whatever. I'm going to read you the message. It's got something very interesting. I have this Rob Pope said, first of all, asserting that I am, look, let me show you what, this is very interesting. First of all, the show was the show about, I was criticizing in my show, at least talking loud about this interaction that I had with some of us National Socialist people on my show, on my Facebook page, excuse me. I said, guys, you want to do whatever you want to do, that's fine. But on my Facebook page, do not start to be aggressive and, more important, be an asses with my friends, with myself. If you don't like what I have to say, just move. Simple as that. Then I started to get these messages on pretty much out of the blue. Okay, let me read. First of all, let's see here. Let's see. Gianluca, you are a cynical, evil, pagan, satanist. You don't believe in anything but your evil self. You will be damned in hell forever. From Robert Pope. By the way, that he removed the post after that. Then I said, Robert Pope, listen, whatever you believe about me, I don't really care, honestly. That's fine. My only question, he keeps saying, you are evil. Gianluca Zanna, you evil pagan satanist, stay away from my Christian friends on Facebook. So that's why I see there is a connection. I say, Robert Pope, first of all, I invite you on my show. If you believe that I'm so evil, whatever, I don't care. Whatever you believe, I'd just like to see you, at least to have a conversation with you. If you are civil enough, I'll let you have the chance to talk. And just because. Not because I care what you think about me. And then he said, if I'm on your show, I want to be paid. Well, Robert Pope, you're not that. I don't pay my guest, okay? I don't pay my guest. And my point is, I just said, if you don't want to come, that's fine. But at least, have the decency to show your face. And then I found out Robert Pope YouTube channel, I feel sorry for the man, I must tell you. Somebody who's claiming that he's losing his mind because he's not eating enough, he's going through a diet, and he's presents himself like a Christian. I don't tell you what I am, and it's not really my business, or your business, to tell you what I believe. I tell you something, if that's Christianity that you're advocating, the way you profess and attack people, and you will try to really just to be an ass. Trust me, whatever I believe, I'm better off with whatever I believe than what you believe. But more important, I don't tell you what you are. I don't judge you what you are. And I believe that Jesus Christ pretty much said in the New Testament, remove your log off your head, of your eye, before you start to look at somebody else's, eye. Okay? So that's the point. Anyway, and then there's a bunch of other people. I don't even want to waste your time. Melissa Scott, Erica Covington, also the show is so corrupt and vulgar. Seriously, dude, soon everyone will know how criminal you are. You're a con artist. Don't buy guns from this man. Funny that he talks about guns. I wonder if somebody, by the way, I never had any complaint. The only complaint I had one time with one local guy that, by the way, he disassembled one of my guns, and I said, bring it here, and I will give you a lifetime warranty. He didn't want to do that. Besides that, I never had any problem. We take care of our customers, and we never had a problem. But regardless, I believe, for example, Melissa Scott, this man has zero understanding of the history of fascism or communism. His knowledge of public safety, or what else here? A Bill of Rights is lacking. You dummy. Okay, Melissa, I said, I'm glad you are so... By the way, that was exactly the point I was talking on Facebook about these people that they were advocating national socialism, Nazi, to be different from communism.
maybe different color, I said, but the point is the same type of philosophy of oppression and, more important, also violence. They will use violence to coerce the individual. That was my point. But, that's the point. So, Melissa Scott, I'm just going to, as I say, why I'm reading this? Because I'm public. I don't care. Luca-zanna, hey, idiot, you got no skills like you pay. Whatever, you pay us. If you demand that to see us, bottom line that she wants that to be on my show, they need to be paid. And also I said, guys, at least my name is real. I show my face. You can hear me. I'm a real person. Many of these people that they have fake accounts, they are like cowards. Little chicken neck cowards hiding behind the little screen. And I say, you know what? I will give you the respect. If you come on my show, I'm not going to call your names, but at least I will give you the respect to listen to you. And then, of course, you got to hear what I have to say. But unfortunately, these people, the reality is, they're really cowards. The reality is that if you profess yourself to be Christian, I feel sorry for you. I really do. And the point is, whatever I believe is none of your freaking business. All I know that I don't need to give you any justification. You call me Satanist? Well, as I said, I wish I know why you call me that, but that's okay. I don't even need to convince you that I am not. I may have my own opinion about what I believe, but for sure I don't believe in what you are. Because that's for you means to be Christian. You are really a pathetic, human, coward, not even being, less than a being. That's all I'm saying. But still, I want to say, if you have a chance, my invitation is always open. You can call me all these names on the air. Robert Pope, please, be free. Cheryl Manson, creepy, she said, I can say this very good. Whatever, come here on my show. I want you, I welcome you, and I will treat you at least with respect. Now, that's enough. Now, about Satanists, that's so funny. I'm here to try to expose evil. I'm here to try to pretty much show that there is an agenda. The New World Order agenda is the agenda of the darkness. And I'm trying to expose it. I don't need at the same time to be a Christian like you are. I don't need to. I respect everybody. I respect every religion who believes in good and also believes in helping others. And more important, respects other people's beliefs. That's the point. I draw a line with some cults that I know unfortunately are incompatible with the beliefs of others. And I'm not even shy about it. I told you many times, if you believe in Muslim beliefs or cult, if you are a good Muslim, the one that they follow your book, your Quran, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to function in a civil society. I said that. I had friends, they were called themselves Muslims, but guess what? They were Muslim as I was a Catholic. I couldn't care less. I wasn't even going there. So you see, that's the point. I look at you as a human being. But if you are a good Muslim, I'm sorry. You have a problem. You must follow the book, and the book is against the principles of freedom and the individual rights expressed in our Bill of Rights and also in the Declaration of Independence. That's the point. Now, that's enough. Well, I want to say I don't really care what you think about me, even if you are just 2 of you or 200. I don't care, guys. By the way, all I say, have a chance to grow some balls, if you can. Come on my show, and let's have some fun. That's all I can say, okay? Now, let's talk about news, other important news. First of all, a lot of things going on. Yes, the Bush, one of the Bush is gone. New World Order, though it doesn't go away. It still keep going. We are facing a great attack every day. Now, federal bump stock ban is coming soon. Real soon, 90 days to turn them in. This is Guns of America. What happened here? I'm sad. I'm sad not because of what the government or part of the government is doing. I'm sad because some people that I consider smart people, they unfortunately follow for this trap. Just because it's Trump, or at least happening under Trump, I see people that they are trying to find excuses for this act of tyranny. Now, let's start with, first of all, with what is a bump fire stock. Bump fire stock is this sort of accessory that you put on your rifle that technically, is going to let your rifle cycle faster. But it's very inaccurate. Honestly, it is very also unreliable. And it's mostly for recreational uses, okay? That's what it is. Still, there are a couple of problems. First of all, it's ineffective. That's fine. But people can have the enjoyment and fun to have it. That's another point. But the point now we're having here is that President Trump, through the Department of Justice, and in this case the ATF, they're now writing laws. And only there are laws that could be unconstitutional if challenged, but also there are laws that they are somehow punishing in a retroactive way things that they should be not persecuted. For example, if when I bought that bonfire stock was legal, you cannot just say now it's illegal and punish me. Okay? Number one. Number two, I bought that, I paid for it. Now you cannot just say burn it or turn them in. That's also a violation of Fifth Amendment. I mean, I gotta also be sure, that you understand that what's happening here, this is a great violation of constitutional basic, and everything that you can imagine that normally does not belong to a tyrannical government. The post facto laws are unconstitutional under Article 1, Section 9, Clause 3. Number there, right there. Then, government cannot forbid items or seize property without compensation under the Fifth Amendment. Do you get that? Then, more important, Congress shall pass laws. No, a president start to write laws. Okay, that's the point. So we have so many things that are so bad. And I was talking to my friends. I have friends that I really like, Giovanni. Giovanni's a great guy. And I said, Giovanni, don't you think what's happening here, it's wrong? And he starts to find excuses. Oh yeah, but it's like a chess move, sacrificial token. Let's see if anything else is proposed. Come on, Giovanni. Now the gates of hell are open. Don't you get it? Now that President Trump can say, okay, you don't have any more the need and the right to own a bonfire stock because I say so, and I also can now completely make it illegal and confiscate them and give you 10 years in jail if you still have one without even any compensation. Guess what? Next president can say, you know what? You don't need those 30 rounds magazine. Why do you need 30 rounds magazine, guys? If the next president can say so. Nobody challenged this one. Next time will be that. And then maybe what do you need 10 rounds magazine? Maybe what do you need magazines at all? Single shot, it's all you need. After all, you are a civilian. That's what we're going to. This is the final plan. New World Order is working. My opinion, this is not, as I said, I defend President Trump every time he's trying to enforce nationalism and trying to support our sovereignty. There is a point, though. There is a point. I start to get concerned when he does things like that. And we have to. We must be concerned. We must be critical of everything. We must be supportive when he does something supportive. But things like that, they are just very, very dangerous, because this is just the spiral, the beginning of what's coming. They need to have completely us disarmed. That's the fact. That's the fact. Now, talking about arms and weapons. Walmart. Man accidentally shoots himself in the groin in Walmart meat department. There is, let's have a problem when they write this article. Accidentally. There is nothing accidental here when you shoot yourself in your groin. The gun is not going to go by magic off. There is always something that was done. First of all, the trigger, by the way, this happened in Buckeye PD, Buckeye, Arizona, okay? The trigger, it found some resistance. Something pushed that trigger enough to give that type of pressure to go off. Okay? So, when he began to slip into his pants, he attempted to make some adjustments. In doing so, the man violated several basic rules of gun safety, including the fundamental, always keep your finger straight and off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Exactly. That's the point. Now, for sure, pretty sure, he did not have a holster. Okay? So, the man, in the rush to keep the pistol in place in his pants, he put a finger on the trigger. And the gun, of course, it was pointed at something that it was not intended to destroy. So also the muzzle was pointed at his body. So you see right there what problem we have. That's why safety is so important. Understand gun safety. You know, the beautiful things in the state of Arizona, I say every time for people that, come to my CCW classes or even take free gun safety classes. We have a right. It's unbelievable. We can keep and bear arms without any type of government permits. But the same way, the same time, it's our responsibility, it's our duty to learn, to be responsible, to be also skilled in not just shooting a gun, but also carrying a gun safely. So that's the point. This is what happened. As I said, I don't call these accidents. I don't call these are negligence. The man needs to go back to, for sure, some basic gun safety classes, and at that point, he must be sure that he shows that he can be proficient. Because today, he just shot his belly or his leg. Tomorrow, he could have shot an innocent. That's my point. We cannot just go out there. Sometimes the problem is always the attitude, by the way. These type of people, they think they know everything. And that's the problem. When people think they know everything, you need to stay away from them. When it comes to the gun business, that's not the place to have that type of attitude. You must be humble. You must always say, okay, thank you. If I learn a new thing, I appreciate your contribution. Thank you for letting me know. Now, I always hear things about, this Mueller investigation against President Trump. And I hope, at this point, I start to believe, is it real? Yes, it's real, because they're putting in pretty much under the grind all the people around Trump. But at the same time, when I see Trump doing things like I told you, I'm always say, is it possible? Maybe this is just part of a big show. I don't know. But for sure, one thing I tell you, one thing is factual. After all these years of now, more than 2 years of President Trump in office, still Hillary Clinton has never been prosecuted. Two things may happen here. Maybe at this point, President Trump realized that it's just a little part of against the government, the hidden government, the shadow government. He doesn't have the control, the power. But the same way, now we're talking about all we need here is a U.S. District Attorney. We need, of course, our Attorney General, new Attorney General, to do the right thing, to enforce the laws. Why there are not any special counsel against Hillary Clinton, or maybe Eric Holder, found, in contempt of court and to lie under oath in Congress? All the situation that we know. Guns running to Mexico under Obama. Found line. And then you have situations like, Jerome Corsi, journalist Jerome Corsi, that just because he forgot about one email when it was under, question by the FBI, the Mueller special counsel, he forgot about one email 2 years ago. Now, bang, they're going to try to throw the book at him that he somehow lied to a federal agent. Of course, Hillary can lie so many times and nothing happened to her. So this is the point. It's so disgusting. It's so on the open. And one thing at least I want to say, if President Trump is truly the man who's trying to stop him, one thing now we must realize, is useless. He's useless. He's trying to do something, but he doesn't have the power. This is even worse. Now at the point we realize that the presidents, they're just little puppets. Because if this man is supposed to do one thing only, not write freaking laws like he's trying to do with the bomb fire stock, what he's supposed to do is supposed to execute the laws. And if I am just a regular former immigrant, I know that. I'm sure you guys, you were born here, you should know even more than me. The president is supposed to enforce the laws, execute the laws, and he's not able to execute all these, I want to say alleged, because they still deserve the trial, but at least this infringement, alleged infringement of many of our laws, and some of these laws, by the way, that they were infringed, they were somehow broken. I mean, talking about Eric Holder at the gun trafficking with Fast and Furious in Arizona and the southern border, it wasn't just something that was just to destroy, of course, the Second Amendment, to make us look guilty, but also people died. Innocent people died. And among those also some of our border patrols, they were shot with those guns. So that's right there, we have a real serious problem. Talking about conspiracy and be part of a crime like murder. We don't want to talk about Hillary. All these servers, emails, I cannot stop talking about it. I feel there is some justice here. That they've been proven, they've been intercepted, every one of them from the Chinese government. Every email was going through this private server in their bathroom. They were pretty much going straight to the China comms. And guess what? Why they are so important? Because many people may have died. Many people, they were part of this, State Department. They control a lot of things and networks of spies and collaborators and agents around the world. So what you think when these people got exposed? What happened to them? You think they gave them like a special medals? No, they got killed probably. We don't know, and we'll never know for sure how many. But for sure people died. So that's the point. And more important, she lied. She lied, she lied. Now, what I'm going to say, a little break. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with luca-zanna. And as I said, I have respect for enemies who can show their face and at least have an intelligent conversation if they have a problem with me. I may face you in battle, but I'll face you with respect. One thing I have no respect for chicken neck cowards hiding behind different accounts, behind a little monitor, try to say things that, by the way, they're not even true, but regardless, to just try to fulfill your pathetic life, wasting time in trying to, what? Make me mad? You don't really understand who I am if you think that. Think about Teflon, or think about, you're just a little leech, and all I have to do is, with my middle finger, just snuff you out of my cough. Because that's what you are. You're like a little leech. But I still want you on my show, don't forget. Mr. Pope, or anybody else out there, wherever you are, fake accounts or not. Zanna@zanna.us is my email. I hope to see you, and we will have a nice conversation. Little break, you're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with luca-zanna. Do not go away.
Are you ready to get lost in lust? Immerse yourself in a thunderstorm of emotions and passion. Order John luca-zanna's new book, Perfectly Crazy, 69 erotic visions and love poems with forbidden erotic Italian phrases. Perfectly Crazy by John luca-zanna. Available all over the world at Amazon.com and www.zanna.us.
There we go. Welcome to the new Germany. Why I wanted to play this? Because this is not just some, movie or some part of Saudi Arabia. This is now in the middle of the heart of Germany. What people has to face, what people had to listen in the middle of a neighborhood. Now, why I have a problem with that? Because first of all, this is no more your religion. This is no more your belief. This is you imposing this to the rest of us. And I'm telling you, they are shutting down now churches, bells. They're shutting down people teaching Bible in their own homes. But guess what? Meanwhile, you cannot believe what's happening to Germany, that you had to be facing this sort of abuse, in my opinion. By the way, another important thing, most of the churches or mosques, in this case, in Europe, they are paid by tax dollar payers. I mean, by the tax dollars of the regular people. You know what? You want to build your own church, use your money. Don't use my tax dollar, extorted tax dollar to do that. So that's the sad thing. Europe, same story. Italy, Germany, France, not even telling you. This is the reality. This is the reality also what is being planned for the free humanity. This is the new world order. They want to destroy, divide us, and they will use, of course, these cadres, these, let's say army, legions of people who really believe in their cult. Don't get me wrong. I really know that the truth part of Islam that is violent is real. And these followers, they're there to completely force their belief on us. And why the globalists, they're using them? Because they are perfect. They are perfect for their agenda. That's what they're doing. So that's the point. Now, I want to always say something here. Try to be positive. Try to find a way to empower people. We cannot depend on the government to defend ourselves. We cannot depend on the police. We wish we always had a cop around us to defend us, but reality is it's not going to happen. And maybe it's a good thing. I don't want to live with a cop in my wallet, okay, or my pocket. That's the point. So I invite you to go kingmanforceonforce.com, where you can see now we're also starting online self-defense classes. Yes. Firearm classes, we have already now starting the e-gun training program that you can somehow train with a firearm of your choice. Just send us an email from the website, kingmanforceonforce.com, and we can completely organize a personalized custom class with your firearm. Online live with a webcam. But also the most important thing now, we're starting our online live classes on our special channel. We have a YouTube channel just for Kingman Force on Force, where you can learn all the empty hand self-defense techniques that me and Mr. K, we put together in our Volume 1, Empty Hands for Real Life Self-Defense, and also Empty Hands for Real Life Self-Defense Volume 2. So we do seminars here at Kingman Force on Force, weekly seminars, but also we do, of course, everyday classes. But also now, if you're online, if you are anywhere around the world, from anywhere around the world, now you can join our classes, and they are affordable. And you will see how much you can learn. Now, today I would like to say about something. First of all, 1 second. Something fell off my hands here. The most important thing in any confrontation, it is us, our mindset. It is our brain. That's the most important weapon. If you cannot control your body with your brain, you cannot do anything. You may be strong, you may think you're fast, you may even have a weapon. But if your brain doesn't work, more important, you don't have the combat mindset that you can control your fears and transform it at that point against the opponent, it's a waste. So we want to invite you for a free class. It's going to happen next week. Go to kingmanforceonforce.com. And I will share with you a first class free. It's a beautiful class. A class that's going to be exactly about how to avoid the fight, how to stay away from 99% of any violent confrontation, and also how to start to read into the elements, of your opponent, the body, the language, and every other little things that normally you may not see, but once you learn these techniques, you will see when the attack, the violent confrontation is coming. So I want to do this as a gift for all my listeners around the world. Please go to www.kingmanforceonforce.com. Now, send an email from the website. Say, look, I would like to attend the free class for self-defense. It's a free class. Send that email and I'll give you the exactly details, the time, and more important, where to get the link to watch this class. It's more than an hour long. And you will have a chance to learn all these techniques that you don't even need to be physical. You don't even need to fight. This is just how to avoid that fight, how to learn when the fight is coming, how to also project yourself that you are not the prey. That's the most important thing. So, please, I would like to do this as a gift for all my friends around the world, and also for the idiots out there, the chicken neck cowards that, I feel sorry for you. You must be very insecure people if you have to somehow resort to completely spread lies about myself behind, hiding behind the monitor. You must be a very poorly, physical person, and more important, spiritually too. So I want to help you out. I don't want you victims. I want you somehow that you have a little bit more respect of yourself. So go to my website, kingmanfirstonforce.com, and join for a free class. Maybe it's going to make you feel a little better, more secure with yourself, a little more confident, and so you don't need to be some sort of a jackass to spend most of your time masturbating in front of my YouTube channel and at the same time, putting all these funny posts that they're really ridiculous, seriously. But, if you want to put more, I'm not even going to delete them. I like them because every time you post something like that, I will play it on my show. At least I will read it on my show. That's all I can say. By the way, I also say, why did you remove 49 thumbs down out of the blue? They were removed, and some of the posts, they were erased, Mr. Pope. After I found your channel that I was watching with almost disbelief your rants about you losing weight and how much, you feel terrible about yourself, you're so ugly. Well, listen, don't worry about that, it's okay. To be ugly is okay. You don't need to be cute. But at least don't be an ass, okay? At least be a little bit of a more, let's say, respectful human being. Don't spread lies. And if you really believe that what you think you're so elevated, you're so morally, more than I am.
Are you ready to get lost in lust? Immerse yourself in a thunderstorm of emotions and passion. Order John luca-zanna's new book, Perfectly Crazy, 69 erotic visions and love poems with forbidden erotic Italian phrases. Perfectly Crazy by John luca-zanna. Available all over the world at Amazon.com and www.zanna.us.
He's a songwriter, a poet, a rifleman.
I'm not afraid.
And a constitutional activist.
I'm not afraid.
Italian by birth.
I'm not afraid.
American by choice. Gianluca Zanna.
I'm not afraid.
And his new CD, Love, Guns, and Freedom. 16 powerful songs on one CD from the heart of a patriot. For download or to order the CD, go to www.lovegunsfreedom.com. That's www.lovegunsfreedom.com. Lyrics for your mind, music for your heart. Gianluca Zanna's new CD, Love, Guns, and Freedom.